Hello again, everyone. This is Chris Shearer, and that's Robert Harding, and this is the Citizen Sports Weekly for Thursday, May 14th, 2015. We could just end it right here, No, we won't
could
do that. No, we could. And
Shortest video.
The viewers would love it. There, I'm done for the week. I'm going to watch 15 minutes of this stuff. Well, anyways, we are going to talk, and of course, what else would we talk about in the middle of May but the NFL, where the season never ends. Tom Brady, folks. The NFL laid down the hammer on him and the Patriots. And if you're a Patriot fan, you're not too happy. And if you're a non-Patriot fan, well, you're probably happy, but I think maybe you're getting DeflateGate fatigued.
Yeah.
It's funny when we were waiting for the Wells report to come out. We were like, when's it coming out? Is it going to come out before the draft? Okay, we've had the draft. Is it going to come out after the draft? It's been a while now, and it's out. You can argue the evidence, whether it's circumstantial, but something, folks, this is not a criminal. This is the NFL, okay? They can do whatever they want here, okay? There's no First Amendment or, you could say Tom Brady took the Fifth because he wouldn't turn over his cell phone.
In a lot of ways he did.
Because he didn't want to incriminate himself, but something? This isn't that. This is something else. So let's not be confused here, okay? There's no constitutional issues here. This is not law. This is the NFL. The NFL and its own, rules or the way it wants to discipline its players or run its investigations, they can do whatever they want. They're a private business. So, if the Patriots or Tom Brady or Robert Kraft or Bill Belichick or Boston and every other New England state, including Vermont and Rhode Island, they don't like it, too bad.
Wow.
I know.
You're dropping the hammer today.
I know. So but that's the way it is. That's what happened. There's been penalties, and I think the Patriots got it worse than anybody else. They lose a first-round draft pick next year. Ouch. I believe they lose a fourth-round pick the year after.
Correct. Yeah.
Double ouch.
And then they get fined.
And the $1 million fine, which to Robert Kraft's pocket money. I'm sorry, $1 million to an NFL owner is like, come on, guy. It's the draft picks. Now, to their credit, the Patriots have been penalized before for Spygate and lost draft picks. Didn't seem to slow them down, did it? And I think that arguably that, it does hurt to lose a first-round draft pick, but I think if any team could afford to lose a first-round draft pick, it's the Patriots, because usually they're drafting near the end of the first round anyways. It's not like you're going to get an impact player. Most years you're not going to get an impact player at the end of the first round. You're going to get a guy who hopefully is a starter, but you're not going to get a superstar most times. It does happen. Look at the Dolphins with Dan Marino back in 1983 being drafted 27th, second from last in the first round. But
that's right.
But I digress. But the thing is, the Patriots broke the rules, and whether the rule was a serious rule that gave them a giant competitive advantage or not, they broke a rule. And it's obvious that this had been going on for a while, and also that there was a very concerted effort to do this. And I think that the penalty definitely fits the crime or the transgression, And I think the NFL is definitely within its rights of what they did. And the Patriots, you can keep dragging this thing out, but I would just would have said, okay, we accept it, we move on, and then we move on, and we're not talking about this a week later. Robert, your thoughts?
Yeah, to me, it's the only part of this that seems excessive or even close to excessive is Brady's suspension. I wouldn't mind if it was a little less than that, 2-gamer, whatever. I think any more than that, you get into the territory of, and what some of the critics have said is that, here's Brady getting 4, and then Goodell last year with the whole Ray Rice thing only gave Rice 2 initially for his domestic violence incident. And so, people have really panned that, and rightfully so. But other than that, the penalties against the team, I know that there's been a lot said about this report and that, it's, circumstantial in some, places and, there isn't definitive proof. But, you can read between the lines. And, there wasn't a whole lot of definitive proof in the Aaron Hernandez trial either. And look how that turned out. So, not to compare the two crimes.
No, not even close.
But, the fact remains that, this is the nature. there was enough evidence there for anyone, outside of those who root for the Patriots, apparently, and some sports writers, as it turns out, that there was enough proof there that the Patriots, Tom Brady, went through with this. Now, is it the worst thing? No, but you get into integrity of the game issues, and the league has to act. So they acted, and I think given the whole Spygate history, that track record, I mean, people have said that that was several years ago, but remember, not a lot of the players have changed. You still have Robert Kraft as the owner. You still have Bill Belichick as the coach. You have all the same pieces there. So this is really a repeat offense. And, if people are shocked that the NFL came down so hard, I don't know why you would be. I mean, this is what happens when you get into repeat offenses and, integrity of the game issues. So, other than the Brady suspension, I'm fine with it. Here I am, a Bills fan, saying that Brady shouldn't have gotten that bad of a suspension. But I think overall, I mean, really it comes down to the question of, okay, yeah, he did this and he deserves to be punished, but at the same time, where else is this going on? Yeah. Is it happening in Dallas? Is it happening in Buffalo, Miami? Carolina, Detroit, where else is this going on where the quarterback gets a say in, how inflated or deflated the balls are. So, yeah, it's been a rough week for Patriots fans, but a good week for the rest of us.
Well, I think there's a couple things here I just want to add quickly. Number one, I think the suspension for Brady was 4 games because you have a hunch that it is going to be appealed.
Sure.
And they'll probably knock it down to 2 games.
Yeah.
That's number one. I think that's why it was a 4-game suspension, because they know it'll be 2 eventually. The other thing is I think that Roger Goodell wanted to avoid the appearance that because he's such good buddies with Robert Kraft that that's why he brought the hammer down pretty hard on this, because that way no one can say, oh, you're buddies with him, so that's why you went easy on him and everything. So I think that's another reason why that happened. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, it's. Bill Belichick, I mean, all these people saying, oh, my God, Brady's out for 4 games. Who's going to win the division now? Look, the Patriots are going to win the division. I don't care who's quarterbacking the Patriots, okay? They still have a pretty good defense. Bill Belichick's still the coach. Okay, I remember 2008 when Brady went down with a knee injury the first game of the season. They still won 11-5, okay? Mm-hmm. And they did lose the division. That's only because they lost that one game to the Dolphins where the Wildcat came out. So, Bill Belichick is a great coach. And I think that even without Brady, I can't see the Patriots going 0-4. I think they'll probably be probably 3-1. I would think. If it is a 4-game suspension, if it's only a 2-game suspension, 1-1 at the worst, 2-0. I mean, come on. If I'm a Patriots fan, I wouldn't worry too much about this. I mean, realistically, I think a lot of people are blowing this out of proportion. I mean, heck, we're talking about it now, so maybe we're doing the same thing. But, we're not going on Twitter saying the world is ending and the NFL has... If the NFL had it out for the Patriots, why did they win the Super Bowl then? I mean, seriously, there was some type of conspiracy or sting or something. How did the Patriots win the Super Bowl? Well, it's because Pete Carroll called a horrible play there at the goal line. Sorry, Seahawks fans. But really, I'm just saying, if there's such a there's no conspiracies. Okay, that's one thing I just want people to understand. There's no conspiracies. Okay, none. It's all in the up and up. Believe me. Right?
You got
right.
that in.
Okay.
No, I agree with you. I mean, it's seeing some of the reaction to this is, a bit surprising. The fact that
raising money to pay the fine.
Yeah, that.
I mean, come on, folks.
That to me is bogus. I mean, first of all,
donate your money to a food pantry.
I mean,
or a homeless shelter.
I can't remember who it was, but someone put it best. Here are fans on one side saying that, how can Brady get more games than the NFL gave Ray Rice last year, and yet they're raising money for, of all things, giving it to a billionaire enterprise, and it's like, I mean, come on, give your money to a better cause than that. I mean, they can afford the fine in the blink of an eye.
If you're going to give money to anybody, give it to the 2 guys that are, the 2 equipment guys of the Patriots that have been suspended indefinitely. I mean, they're not. I don't think they're getting paid, and I don't think those guys were making $1 million a year. I think those guys are seriously going to be hurt by this. And obviously what they did was wrong. They shouldn't have been doing it. But
and that's the part of it, I think, that really gets lost in all this. Everybody, Patriots fans included, and I'm glad you brought it up, get all hung up on the Brady and the impact on the team. But here's two guys that have been suspended indefinitely, presumably without pay, and here they are.
Yeah. They got to make their mortgage payment.
Yeah, here they are. They don't earn Tom Brady money,
No.
and yet they're taking the fall for the guy.
Yeah.
So what's worse here, folks? I mean, here's two guys that were just going along, star quarterback. Had them on their contacts list on their phones and texting back and forth, and they're basically taking the fall for him.
Yeah.
Anyone who read the report can see that. So, I mean, it really, to me, it really speaks to the disconnect between reality and the cultish nature of sports. It's it really is kind of the worst of the worst when it comes to what sports fans can do.
I don't think we can top this topic, Robert. So I think maybe we should just end the video here. Unless there's something you want to talk about.
No.
If you want to, go ahead. I mean, if you have another idea for something else to discuss, please.
Well, just to kind of mention this one cool thing, and we were talking about this briefly when you came in, but there's this new app, Periscope. The Washington Post last night, Wednesday night, basically live streamed the design process of their sports cover, which was fascinating.
It is fascinating.
And one thing that came to mind through that is there's a lot of people that like to say print is dead. I'm certainly one of them. It's not what it was. It's not what it will be, or used to be, rather. But you see this and the interest in the process, and it does give you, some some excitement that people are still interested in, what goes on and how it gets from point A to point B. And there were more than 2,000 people following this last night.
I wish I could have been one of them, but I was working because I was putting out our newspaper. So I was kind of doing what they're doing, but in a little bit of a different way. Well, actually, a lot of a different way. But anyways, but I have designed pages for championship games and things, and it is a pretty cool experience to be able to do something like that. And I applaud the Washington Post for putting that on Periscope. And I have to admit, I hope if they do it again, I would hope that I'm able to watch it, because I really would love to have been able to see that last night. So, and it is an interesting process, folks. The newspaper just does not magically appear in your mailbox or on your doorstep every morning. There's a long line of people and things that are going on to get that newspaper to your doorstep every single morning. And you need to think about it sometimes, like what a really cool process it is that gets it there every day. So, and for those of you that do get a daily newspaper delivered to your home, thank you very much. My kids thank you. So anyways, until next week, I guess that's it for the Citizen Sports Weekly. We appreciate your support and your viewing, and we'll see you next week.